But look out, you could actually burn your retinas and permanently damage your vision. You need to take proper precautions. You may have heard about the solar eclipse that's coming October 14th, 2023. The moon is going to be coming between the Earth and the Sun, causing magnificent views. Especially for those who live along a certain line in North, Central, and South America, you may get to see an annular eclipse where there's a thin ring of sun peeking out from behind the shadow of the moon. It's going to be quite a sight to see. But look out, you could actually burn your retinas and permanently damage your vision. You need to take proper precautions. Your parents weren't joking when they told you looking at the sun would hurt your eyes. In fact, staring directly at the sun for even just a few seconds can cause permanent damage. Solar retinopathy is a condition that I have personally seen, though it doesn't just happen in people who like to watch solar eclipses. It can also occur from the misuse of lasers, welding without the proper equipment, or in those with a history of psychotropic drug use. And that is because they practice something called sun gazing, where under the influence they stare at the sun for long periods of time because it looks really cool and beautiful. But this can permanently damage the center of your vision. That's plenty of reason to stay off drugs if you ask me. This damage to the center of the vision most commonly occurs in both eyes, making it difficult to see small details, read, drive, and even sometimes recognize faces. Sometimes it can even affect color vision and cause distortion. To put this into perspective, if you were looking at an eye chart, it usually has 2200 at the top and 20/20 toward the bottom, sometimes a little bit smaller, but 20/20 is what is considered normal vision. In someone with solar retinopathy, their vision, depending on the severity and the location of the damage, could be reduced to 20/25 or even 2100. And sometimes if the damage is really severe, people may have trouble counting fingers on an examiner's hand from even a short distance. This damage happens because of photochemical toxicity due to radiation given off by the sun. You can kind of think of it as a sunburn, except for whereas the skin can regenerate and heal, the retinal tissue cannot. That's why the vision loss is permanent and there's no treatment. In some cases, the vision improves slightly on its own, but it rarely returns to normal. And in more severe cases, the less likely it is to improve. So if you want to view the solar eclipse in all its glory, what can you do? When it comes to protecting your vision, you want to be sure you put your trust in the right products and suppliers. You need to get special purpose solar filters or solar viewers. You should be wary about who you trust on this. You need to be sure that the products are ISO and CE certified. And you may want to be wary of online marketplaces, since it's hard to be 100% sure exactly where those products are coming from. Check out the description below to see a link that lists all of NASA's reputable suppliers of solar viewing products. There are many ways to view the solar eclipse. Others may want to use a camera, telescope, binoculars, or other optical devices. But it's important to remember that these optical devices do not protect your eyes from the rays of the sun. In fact, think about them more like a magnifying glass that you can use to focus light enough to start a fire. These optical devices will focus the light from the rays of the sun into a small and dangerous point that can damage your eyes. So it's important to use solar filters and to know how to use them properly. Solar filters must be placed at the far end of whatever optical device you're using. If they're only placed at the eyepiece, light still gets focused through the optical device and can damage the filter and then damage your eye. So it's very important to put the solar filter at the far end of whatever optical device you're using. For more specific instructions, check out the website I linked below or talk to an expert astronomer. Some may want to view the eclipse with welding shields, but you need to be sure that the welding shield is at shade 12 or higher, and some even think that 12 isn't high enough. If you're still concerned about your eye's safety, there are ways to view the solar eclipse indirectly, and that would be by using a pinhole. You can use a thick sheet of paper or cardboard and poke a small hole in that, or you can create a waffle pattern with your fingers and look through a small hole that you create there. Have your back facing the sun and hold the pinhole toward the ground. Look at the projection on the ground and watch the moon's shadow move and the changing crescent shapes of the sun. Let's review some do's and don'ts of solar eclipse viewing. Do be sure you have an ISO and CE certified filter. Do check the filter for scratches or damage prior to use. Do supervise children who are using a solar filter or solar viewer. Do wear your regular vision correction underneath the solar filter or viewer. Do seek expert advice from an astronomer before using a solar filter with an optical device like a telescope, binoculars, or a camera. And order your solar viewing products now so they don't run out before you get one. Don't look at the sun unprotected or unfiltered. Don't use a solar filter or viewer that has been scratched or damaged. Don't assume that a welding mask is strong enough to protect your eyes. Don't look at the sun using an optical device, even if you're wearing a solar viewer underneath. Remember, solar filters need to be used on the far end of any optical device that you're using. I hope you found this information helpful and that you are ready to view the solar eclipse in all of its magnificence on October 14th, 2023. I know I'm excited because I'm very near the path of a perfect eclipse and it's a really unique circumstance, so it's going to be very cool. Just be sure that you are prepared ahead of time, check out the links below in the description, and be sure to protect your eyes and your vision and view the solar eclipse safely. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.